Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 p.m. English News Edition Netherlands. A new breath of life for cross-border trade. On the international scene, the UN General Assembly calls for an end to the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territory in Gaza. Those with the headlines and welcome to the national news. Yesterday, late afternoon, the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Somalia in Pretoria, South Africa, Mohammed Sheikh, hosted a reception at the embassy premise in honor of the Speaker of the National Assembly, the late Mohammed Delita, and the representative of the Speaker of Somalia and Honorable Adan Mohammed Noor and the Minister of Justice Ali Hassan Bahdoun on a mission to the country. This welcoming ceremony, the first of its kind, was a precious occasion where the Jewish delegation had the opportunity to observe the fraternity and cohesion of the Somali community, which through its own wise men and representative express in turn the merit of our country to restore Somali sovereignty and their constant support to this brother country. And now the president the latest press, he said gratitude to the Somali embassy in Pretoria for the invitation and warm welcome he and his delegation received during their stay in South Africa. He highlighted the fraternal and ties between Somalia and Djibouti, stating that the Somali embassy in South Africa was seen as embassy of Djibouti for Jewish. He also greeted the ambassador Mohammed Sheikh Isaac, who he considered to represent both nations, according to the President Somalia and Jewish form one community wherever they are in the world. And now the Minister of Justice Coalition and Coalition Church of Human Rights, Ali Hassan Bahdoun, went to Johannesburg, South Africa, the seat of the Pan-African Parliament. A specialized guest and of honor the Continental Parliament, he was welcomed upon his arrival by the Vice President Honorable Jidah Mamar Mohamed, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Isaac, and by the Jewish for Deputy Hon Mahmoud Mustafa Dahir. The Egyptian Minister of Justice delivered a speech before the representative of the people of Africa during the opening ceremony of the session. In his speech, the minister conveyed the message of friendship and solidarity of the Egyptian people to the cause of the Pan-African. For information, the African Union has chosen the theme of education for the year 2024. So the minister paid tribute to the Euro founding father of Pan-Africanism and recalled that Africa has no lesson to receive on the issues of human rights, since the first charter of human rights was discovered in Mali dating from the 18th century. It was a day marked by a white stone. The coming of Belbela was transformed into the center of the renewed hope of the cross-border trade, the laying of the foundation stone of the regional economic corridor, which included the reputation, improvement, and maintenance works of the national road extending from Biki trading to Arta, was celebrated with a Belbela fervor. This ceremony was conducted by the supervisory ministry, namely the Minister in charge of road infrastructure, accompanied by the Minister of Finance, with the participation of the Vice President of the World Bank for the MENA region, invited as part of the visit to Djibouti. This empty project, with a picture of $54 million and supported by the World Bank, aims to strengthen regional connectivity while instilling in President economic dynamism in the entire region. This route will be completed over 3 years and maintained for a period of 7 years by tributary and company. This road through a backbone of the national infrastructure. So the representative of the vice president say here in a speech of the World Bank in a speech expressed his satisfaction with participating in the large ceremony of the expansion and restoration of national road. For his part, also the chairman of the Port and Free Zone Authority, Mr. Abubakar Omar Hadi, expressed his thanks and appreciation to the World Bank for its limited support for Djibouti's efforts. And now the Minister of Finance and Economy, in charge of industry, say here our ambition to develop the economic and industry is unwavering, and we are committed to implement a project that contributes to achieving sustainable development. The World Bank has allocated $19 million financing by the World Bank for infrastructure projects extended from Arta to Scooter, and we have additional financing awards $100 million to expand the project to other areas such as Jilili and Dudu Balale. This project is part of the President's vision to strengthen connectivity between countries and of the region and stimulate regional trade, which is Djibouti's position is in the responsible regional and international help. And finally, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment stressed the national route is the say that the national route is the backbone of our country's infrastructure. And now, the United Nations General Assembly this morning adopted a resolution demanding that Israel and its unlawful presence in the occupied Palestinian territory without delay, and to do so no later than 12 months after the adoption of this resolution. It's also demanded that Israel comply without delay with all its legal obligations under international law, including those set out by the International Court of Justice. The opinion issued by the body on 19 July 2024 concerning the legal consequences arising from Israel's policy and practice in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and the unlawfulness of Israeli presence there. At the General Assembly podium, the permanent representative of the Republic of Djibouti to the United Nations, Mohamed Ziyad Douale, during his speech at the podium of the August Assembly, called on the member state of the United Nations to support this resolution by the stating that the facts are indisputable. Under the cover of the prolonged military occupation, Israel has continued to annex the occupied Palestinian territory, and it's continued to do so. Its declared objective is the permanent acquisition of this territory and the exercise of the sovereignty over it. In defense of the prohibition of the acquisition of the territory by force, a premature norm of international law. As part of the International Day of Preservation of the Ozone Layer, the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development through the Environment Directorate organized an information and awareness workshop for association on the protection of the ozone layer. This event will highlight the links between the protection of the ozone layer and climate action within the framework of international theme of advancing climate action. So this workshop was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of the Environment, Dina Abdullah Umar, with the presence of the UNDP representative Emma Gwan Ano, the acting director of the Environment Idris Ismail Noor, and several associations from Jowri City as well as Interior region took part in this event. So, in his speech, the Secretary General of the Environment underlined the objective of this workshop is to raise this awareness among association about the importance of the ozone layer and its role in protecting against harmful UV rays and to inform about the substance responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer and also international actions such as the Montreal Protocol and the amendment. A delegation from the World Bank, led by Vice President for the MENA region, Osman Dian, visited Belgrade 9 yesterday afternoon as part of high-level mission aimed at examining the progress of a project financed by the institution, the Minister of Housing and Ms. Amina Abdi Aden, and the Director of the Social Affairs, Mohamed Awali Miguel, and also the representative of the World Bank, warmly welcomed by the Association of the Sector and the President of the Municipality of Belbela. So the delegation then began its visit with a tour of the Nasib city, in the particular the halls that were removed from Belbela. This visit was an opportunity to discuss with the displaced families who warmly welcomed the delegation and who expressed their satisfaction at the having had their journeys of well-equipped houses with water and electricity. This initiative, financed by the World Bank, illustrated the commitment of MESA to improve the living condition of citizens while strengthening cooperation ties with leading international partners. A trainer awareness workshop of the refugee state management, the IGAT in the IGAT region and the IGAT policy framework on refugee protection open today in Arta. This 3 days workshop mobilized IGAT experts and executive law enforcement officer, gendarmerie and police at the various entry point refugee sites as well as owners officially and technician the Republic of Djibouti in the earlier hours of its accession. The national sovereignty had welcomed for the very first time in 1978 thousands of people fleeing in the war between two main neighbors, which it shared hundreds of kilometers of the common borders. And not in her speech open the in her opening speech the executive secretary of IGATE Ms. Fathia Alwan, director of health and social development of IGATE, said that this 3-day training important in terms of getting and the approach and methodology adapted is in-depthly of practical and use for all agents of national face for assistance to reach and disastrous victim. We know from the outside the importance of the responsibility that rests on their shoulders in welcoming and protecting these people who have fled war and persecution. Hanno the gendarmerie of Sheikh Musa Brigade in collaboration with the customer service size tricycle transporting carton of the contraband cigarette on the night of September and 17 to 18 the interception took place near the BK12 cemetery following cross checking checked information around midnight while the city was asleep. The police alerted by tangible clues mobilized quickly to track down the suspected vehicle. Their diligence bore fruit since the tricycle was stopped at the exit of the cemetery where it was preparing to leave the area. Throughout the research of the vehicle revealed illicit treasure, 9 cartons of Royal Prince cigarette, careful hidden, already fled disappearing during the night before the arrival of the gendarmerie. Of international scene, UN SPER highlighted the uneven progress of digital transformation around the world, urging accelerate effort to bridge the digital divide, particularly in developing regions. 18 countries are ranked in the highest digital government category, with Denmark leading the world. The UN section also highlighted progress in the regulation of emerging technology, particularly artificial intelligence. The head of the digital government branch of the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, Mr. Hekuro, highlighted that 19 countries have some from all legislation, although crepes remain. That's it for this edition. Thanks for your attention. Wonderful evening.